Dobry den, welcome to another delicious review. This is the last part for now of my Eastern European journeys with the rations. And this is the new 24 hours Ukrainian army ration, menu number 2 I guess. It's called Dobowy i Polowy Nabór Produktów Posilieni TPNP P2 P2. And yeah, this is 24-hour ration. This is a new ration. I had a video about the Ukrainian old version, which you can find here, clicking here, and this is the new version according to NATO standards. This is a very proper moment for making this review because I came back 2 days ago from Ukraine. I stayed there for 1 week in Lviv, and it was really fabulous stay. I was really amazed by this place. So you can see there is a lot of scotch tape here because it came to me just without any packaging. Here was the address label, and yeah, that's basically it. It's a very big ration. Maybe let's have some comparison. Here you have a single meal US MRE, and this is the Polish 24-hour ration. So this is something like half of this, but when you turn it on the back, the Polish ration is a bit thicker. So the only way to see what's inside is to use a friend. Let's check. Maybe it is a peelable seal. No, it's just a normal seal. It's a quite tough plastic, similar to the Polish. I'm very excited about it. Wow. Look. Here we have 3 bags and FRH, or 1 FRH bag with a lot of pads. I will have a look in a second. And what do we have here? Večeria, śniadanok i obiad, which means breakfast, let's say supper and lunch. This is a fresh ration. It's made in May 2018, so it is only, well, now we have August, so we have, this is 3 months old, and it is best by April 2019. This, we have individual weight inside, so this is something like 700 grams, half a kilo and 1 kilo. So the heaviest part is the lunch. Great. We have also listed the content here. So let's just crack in. Because it is so nice packed, I will use this packaging and this, let's say, arrangement for my meals. I will start with the breakfast. Let's open the breakfast. You have just to cut it. No other way to do it. Just carefully. So this is the breakfast part. So if you expect this to be something like Scandinavian ration with some porridge and I don't know, a bit of jam, just forget it. This is Ukraine and they have really other conditions. So this is the buckwheat growth with beef. So something what you had before in cans, you have now in this pouch. A new type of crackers, just one packet, chocolate, coffee, salt, chewing gum, sugar, a moist towelette, some utensils like spoon and just napkin, and a bit of dried, what is this? Dried peaches. So, in order to prepare it, I will start this flameless ration heater. You have exact instructions inside. This is a reusable bag and you have to fill the water up to this line. You have to put the pouch and the heating pad and then leave it for 15 to 20 minutes on an angle, so on a rack or something, which is called here opora, which is something like support. So let's start. This is a big bag and we have 4 of heating pads and we have Ukrainian dishes here, so it is written that it is dangerous for your health, don't eat it. So no this picture with dishes, but the pad. I will open this and put this together with this pad into this heating bag. Let's do this. I guess it's a good idea to have separate heating pads. Well, it's enough. This flameless ration heater is made in Ukraine. Here we have a line when it should be bent. I will let it soak and I will leave it for 15 to 20 minutes. Let's unpack the rest. Galiety ration. This while the sound is produced by the flameless ration heater. This Galiety crackers are made in Żytomir. It's a Ukrainian city west to the country capital Kiev. They are different from this previous version. The chocolate is bloomed a bit. Let's have a look how much cocoa. Well, I don't know. Doesn't matter. And we have in this breakfast we have the main, and this is something like 1000 calories. The breakfast. Come on. Alright. The chewing gum. And what do we have here? Coffee, salt, I don't know if it's needed. This moist towelette, sugar, I don't use sugar in my coffee. Alright. Apricots. Yeah, so let's make the coffee and wait for this main. So everything is ready to taste. Let's make the coffee. Natural coffee, black coffee. It's just powder, not this kind of instant granules, but it's a powdered coffee. I guess like this USMRE type 2. This is something like 150 milliliters of water or 5 ounces. Well, as usually as in this Eastern European ration, we don't have a whitener, coffee whitener, but well, what to do? We have the sugar, but I don't drink coffee with sugar. And we have this main. it was heated in 20 minutes. I will just knead it a bit, and we have the actually this ingredient list and all the description is gone, but I can assure you that inside we have something like fat, meat, groats, carrots, onion, salt, pepper, and that's basically everything. So we have turnips, and it works to some extent. Yes, fine. And what a surprise, kasha. Ooh, a lot of kasha. Let's have our spoon ready. Spoon and napkin. Well, this breakfast has a nutrition value of 990 calories, so let's say 1000 calories, so it's a lot of calories. Of course, if you eat it all, I will not probably eat all these crackers and chocolate as a good start for a day, but let's start with this kasha. Big buckwheat grains, and you have also some chunks of beef, so not very anonymous dish. Look, I can tell you that this is a surprise for me, because I've eaten recently a lot of this type of dishes, and this is really the best kasha probably from this recent rations. The kasha is very tender, soft. This meat is very tasty. It is salty enough. You have a kind of flavor coming from this onion and vegetables, and this is really good. Something what I would have here as a nice addition is a black pepper, so something spiciness. But yeah, I can eat it also without the pepper. Let's try this new crackers. They have really neutral, let's say, bread taste, and they are very good, but they are not so crunchy as you could think, because they are a bit burnt, but they are just a bit chewy, not so crunchy. So I will use for sure some of them to improve this main dish. But now let's try the other components. Now the coffee. This is another surprise. It smells like just normal cheap instant coffee, but the taste is a bit bitter, but not too bitter. It is not burnt. Just a really good instant coffee. And let's taste these peaches, but maybe before that I will open this moist towelette. Not very moist, but not made of paper, so really you cannot break it easily or tear. A bit perfumed smell, but well, you can see maybe that it is not moist. So it is not moist enough, however it's nice, but it is not that moist. So now this apricots. Nice, tender, soft. They are excellent, just excellent, maybe because they are very fresh, so just natural taste, not sweetened, soft, a bit chewy. Thumbs up. Now it's time for the chocolate. The chocolate is really good. So this is something like not very maybe bitter and cocoa taste, but it is not just something like brick of sweetness. So I have had better chocolates, but this is really decent. I will eat it, no doubt about this. Now let's have another sip of this coffee, and then I will try this chewing gum. The chewing gum is really great. This is a spearmint taste, a bit refreshing, not too sweet, great. I have to tell you that even if these components looks like the older Ukrainian rations, but there is a big change. I don't mean this dried fruits, so what is inside, but also the quality of this food is much better. So I'm very excited to try the other meals from this ration. Let's have our dinner. We have actually two main dishes. Both are pork. This is a bit smaller because it is 200 grams, and that is stewed pork. And this is barley groats with also pork, and this is 350 grams, so heavier. We have this galiety, these crackers, and another type of crackers which are smaller, packed in this bag. And probably because we have also here the honey. We have two drinks, which is coffee and tea, 2 packs of sugar, salt, moist towelette, chewing gum, and this small accessory pack with, I guess, a spoon, yeah, and just napkin. We have also, just for this meal, one heating pouch. This is listed on this content list. Because it is a huge meal, I will split it in 2 parts to be able just to eat it. For the first part, let's take this stewed pork, and I will have this small wheat crackers and the honey, and I'll make the tea. Because this label will faint during heating, so I will read what is inside, what is in the content. This says here that we have here pork, high quality pork, pork fat. We have salt, pepper and bay leaf. That's it. Time to taste. We have this tea, which is English breakfast tea. Whatever. Let's open this wheat crackers. This is not what I expected. I thought that this will be small flat crackers like they were in the really early versions of the Ukrainian rations. But this is something like toast bread. They are totally dried. We have the honey, just with the nice turnage, and the main stewed beef. These pouches are excellent, easy to open, and a lot of juice and really nice smelling beef. I will use this spoon. Yeah, so this is really something something new and not so usual, because this stewed meat in the Eastern Russian, so whatever it is, Ukrainian, Belarus or Kazakhstan, is mostly beef, stewed beef. Maybe because it has more flavor, but this is really nice chunk like pulled pork, stewed pork. So I will start with this, just like it is. Yeah, I hope it can focus. Not that much. The meat is tender and the taste is bit similar to this beef stew or stewed beef, tuszonka, but of course because it is pork, the taste, the flavor is not so strong. But anyway, it is really tasty. So let's have this. I'm not quite sure how I should eat it, because this is like dried bread or croutons. Probably it should be soaked here. So this is just a wheat bread which is dried and bit, probably because of this color. It was dried in a high temperature. I suppose this is the right way to eat. And now I will taste this honey, maybe also with a bit of this bread. Hello, honey. It's very light honey and liquid and very fresh. The honey is really interesting. This is really tasty, but the light color means also this kind of light flavor. So it's not that deep and rich like a Polish one or Croatian one, but it is still really good. Let's check if this bread is a bit softer. Not yet. So I will try this tea. Quite a decent tea, quite strong, not sour, maybe not the best one, but it's definitely a tea. I mean, if you drink it, you know that it is not a colored water, but this is a tea. By the way, I can show you from my travel to Lviv, to Ukraine, I brought Majski chai. So this type of tea which is present in the Russian rations, and I really like it. Let's try this with this bread. Exactly how I thought. This is still crunchy but not so hard, and this is a perfect combination. We don't have any pepper here, we have salt, which I will not use. Maybe a bit of pepper would help, but it's still really good. So this was the first part of the dinner of this Ukrainian ration. Let's get to the second part of this meal. This is pearl barley with pork, and we have also these crackers and a bag of coffee. I will heat it up quickly and we'll taste. Let's start with the coffee. Normally I would use milk, but since we don't have here, I will use a bit of sugar. Just part of this, because this is how much, let's say, I don't know, I will check it on this list. This is 10 grams. For me, half of this is enough. And let's unpack some of these crackers. And we have our main heated up. Note that this pouch has some dots, and this is actually kind of paint which you can use for painting your walls or something, and it's really stuck to this foil. Even keeping this in hot water didn't help. In case of this dish, we have almost the same list of ingredients. So barley, pearl barley, groats, and pork meat, nice chunks, big chunks. And we have salt, pepper, and onions. And in this case, we have also carrots, which you can see here. This is quite a big amount of food. Nice. I'm a fan of this kind of growths. So big grains. Let's try everything at once. This is really excellent. So kind of long stewed taste of meat, vegetables, I mean onion, and this growth. This is excellent because these grains are so big, so they don't fall apart, and they are a bit chewy, so it is more interesting to eat. I will put a bit of this cracker to gandog this dish. That's even better. So you have this crunchiness from these crackers. Excellent. So now a sip of this sweetened coffee. It's really fine. I mean, you have still the taste of the coffee, a bit of sweetness, but for me, if I would have given this whole package, it would be so too sweet. So this is kind of coffee beverage, which I like. So I will finish this with pleasure, combining these crackers. And thank you very much for watching this first part of review, and see the next one. Bye.